Welcome to the MNSpiritCast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MNSpiritCast. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we apologize that we're late, but there's a good thing behind it, so we'll go into that later. So I'm your host, Marcus, and I'm here with my co-host this week. This is Casey, all the way from Wisconsin, Mr. Cheesehead over here.
Yep.
Welcome. How are you?
Good, how are you? Actually,
Not too bad.
I think it was Anna that was echoing, but that's right.
I can't hear you.
Is that better?
A little bit. Let me turn my TV down here. Try again.
Testing?
Yep, we're good.
Right. Awesome.
So tonight we have an amazing show. We have a returning guest who's actually helped us co-host before, and we're not going to keep you guys waiting too long, but we're in the state of Georgia tonight. So we're in Georgia, Athens, Georgia to be exact, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show tonight. Let's bring Joshua on. Joshua is one of our team's mediums. Welcome, Joshua.
Welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. And without further ado, guys, let's bring her on. Here is Anna with Sixth Sense Paranormal.
Hi guys, I'm just so happy to be here, back again.
You were here not too long ago, and we talked about you back on the show. Where you are.
Here in Athens, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have guests here, and I'm looking over another device to see who you are. This is Gabby, and she needs to record. Someone get this baby stop.
I know, right?
We have speakers, of course. Welcome. I see Martin, Aaron, thank you for joining.
Hey, everybody.
So I know everyone's an echo, which we discussed before the show. We apologize about that. So Anna, finally we're representing paranormal in the state of Georgia. So first of all, okay, we do apologize for the echo.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
We can't. Courtney is here from Georgia. Hey.
Nice.
So, Anna was talking about Sixth Sense Paranormal. What is it about, and why did you start?
I started Sixth Sense Paranormal when my fiance passed away in 2019. It was something that we always wanted to do together, and I ended up fulfilling what he wanted to do, and it took off from there. And I've had great experiences. I've gotten to share with tons of people all over the world, connecting with people like you and, Daryl Masters, other people like that. Hi. And it's been incredible. It's really been a gift to me, because it's gotten me to a lot of investigations to go on, and I've had a lot of people randomly here ask me for help.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Sixth Sense Paranormal, obviously, I've known about Sixth Sense Paranormal for quite a few years now, which, I mean, it's been going for that long, I would imagine. Now, what made you want to start investigating? Was there a specific experience that you had that piqued your interest in paranormal investigations that made you want to open Sixth Sense Paranormal?
Absolutely. From when I was young, I've been an empath all my life, and I had a near-death experience in 2012, and I actually saw dark space, and I saw light, and I saw dark.
Wow.
So I was able to, once I was brought back to life, I was more sensitive to the stuff.
Sure.
And I would break out my EVP, my SLS, anything that I had when I felt a feeling. And I have caught so many things based off of my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I thought I couldn't remember what I was going to say. The people that I have, it's actually not just here in Georgia. I have people in different states that are part of Sixth Sense Paranormal. So if I could not get there, one of my people could get there. Hi, guys.
Miss Sarah. The goosebumps are all over my arm.
And I've also had the pleasure of taking some people out that were very skeptical, and their minds were blown. So, and they're definite believers now. So that's always fun. Thank you, guys.
Perfect. So let's see. Okay, we got into that. And how long have you been investigating? Did you start investigating when you opened Sixth Sense Paranormal, or is there a story behind your very first investigation?
My very first investigation, I was 13 years old on my very first investigation. And I just kind of went from there. Late nights after high school, going out with my boyfriend, we would kind of break into cemeteries and just do some things. I know, naughty. Just do some things there, get some recordings at the time, because you didn't have all of this stuff, the SLS, and you didn't have all this stuff. So I recorded things either on my phone or with a recorder, and we just got a lot of stuff. We would bounce around from cemetery to cemetery and ended up capturing amazing things together.
So now we are, as everyone knows. Oh, and for everybody here in the comments, Anna, I do apologize. If you go to talk, just unmute yourself. I just muted it so the echo doesn't continue.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and I hate muting you, but
So
the
echo. I'll mute myself.
Okay, so we're as everybody knows. First of all, everybody on the comments here, as I see, everybody has to name a Facebook user. If you go to the description of this podcast, no matter what platform you're watching it on, and you go to the description, scroll all the way down. There's going to be a link, and you click on that link, the one that says I'm using StreamYard or something like that. Click on that link and give StreamYard permission to access to your account, and it should display your name. So if everybody does that, we can see who you are. So there's that. Now, since we are celebrating our 4th season of Minnesota SpiritCast, we've been going for quite a long time with the show, and we like where it's going. So to celebrate season 4, we like to ask our guests what are 4 of their favorite investigation venues. Whether you've investigated them or, whether you've seen somebody else investigating them, what are your favorites?
See, I would have to say Goatman's Bridge, Crybaby Bridge. There's actually a railroad yard here that I did, and it's really, really cool. This guy died a long time ago, but his favorite drink was Jack. So you get a thing of Jack Daniels, and at exactly midnight, you set it on the track. You can hear footsteps coming down the track, and you see a bright little light, and it seems to fade out, and then the whiskey and everything is gone. You don't see anything. I've been on that investigation, and that scared all of my people. I was the only one still standing there.
So we have a couple other people displaying their favorite investigation spots too. So Gabby says Aurora's grave, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, this is her best friend's gravesite, and we've investigated it a couple times, and would like to go back again. But the cemetery is definitely active. But I won't get too into it because I don't want to give any false information or anything. So I believe this is Sarah, and Sarah says Washington, Iowa. If anybody was watching the previous Global Ghost Hunt in May, Minnesota Spirit Hunters went to Washington, Iowa to do the Victorian View venue, and that was a fantastic place, and I definitely want to go back again. It was fantastic. Okay, so since we heard your favorite investigation venues, what about your 4 bucket list places to go to?
Ooh, okay, my bucket list. I would have to say, oh man, I'd have to say Goatman's Bridge would be number 1. I would love to go to the Waverly House.
Waverly Sanatorium?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Waverly Sanatorium. Got that mixed up with the axe murder. House.
Yeah.
And one of my top favorites is probably Zach's Museum. That would be my number 1 to start at Zach's Museum, alone, solo.
Okay. You're crazy, woman.
You're crazy, woman.
I know. I would go buy the Divic box. I'm so into the Divic box.
Really?
Yes, I'm.
Anybody know what a Divic box is?
I do.
You guys all know what a Divic box is?
Yep.
Who would ever touch one?
Maybe.
For people that don't know, a Divic box has a demon inside of it, and if you open it, you let that demon out, and it causes all kinds of curses. You could be physically hurt. You could die. It's kind of like touching or mocking Annabelle. You just don't do it.
Right.
But
crap. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Oh, come on. Now my computer freezes up.
No, I think she froze.
Yeah, it looks like she did. There we go. And for anybody who doesn't know, Divic box is filled together with candle wax. So it's a very sketchy thing to deal with.
yes.
So all right. Joshua, Casey, if you got anything, please feel free to ask away, or just tell me to shut the hell up, and I'll shut the hell up. All right.
I already got quite a bit from already know quite a bit from Anna, so.
Well, I guess I don't know a whole lot about you, Anna, so I guess I want to know what is your interview style like or investigation style like? Do you have a pre kind of setup kind of a thing you like to do to get ready to do investigation, like walkthrough or whatever else? What is your process to start an investigation out for you?
I like to do a walkthrough first, a day and night through a walkthrough, and like an evening walkthrough, not investigation time, but a light evening. I also, before I go in anywhere, I have Palo Santo wood and everything like that that makes me clear. It doesn't have anything on me, makes me protected. And I always wear my crystals with me, walk into these places.
Mm-hmm.
And when I leave.
Have you guys used Palo Santo before? Not you.
I have.
I know you have.
My
I use Palo Santo.
Well, if anybody doesn't know, I got like a home medical section set up right here. So everything smells good.
It does.
This is Palo Santo.
I got
You
my
can
own.
see some of them. They've been used.
Yep.
They're more or less for like a cleansing type thing, or stuff like that.
So, I guess I wanted to know, Anna, what is your style like? Like when you go into a place, you do mostly residential, commercial, kind of.
I do both. Right now, I have someone that's actually asking me to come out to their commercial business because they think that their building is haunted. So I think he accidentally brought something home because now his daughter has been saying all these things, like she's seeing something. But every investigation, my style is I walk in, I don't really like to know a whole lot about it. I like to get the feeling and for myself, and I like for my abilities to tell me myself. But once that does happen, if there's something that I absolutely have to know, I will ask.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly walking in there, not blind, but I'm picking up what I need to pick up. So I can do both, residential and commercial.
Hi, Shasta. Stay tuned, Shasta. In a few weeks, we're going to be in North Carolina. Just letting you know.
What has been your most impactful case, I guess, during this whole time that you've been doing this, I guess? You know, is there any kind of one investigation that sticks out to you that you can tell us about? I think she froze.
Now she muted.
Okay, I unmuted your mic.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, something froze up. What was the question? Something froze up.
I asked what has been your most impactful case so far out to date during your time doing a paranormal investigation? Anything you can tell us about?
Story-wise,
Yeah.
I have the biggest one that happened to me is when I had to shake a certain demon off of me. It's still here, but I assisted on an exorcism and I got scratches, real deep scratches, and a growl, and I had an attachment to that. But I mean, I was in, I was unconsolable. This thing kind of took over my life, and away at my mom's house, light bulbs blew. I mean, it was a big deal.
Wow.
And that attachment lasted over a year.
But you finally got it out.
It's gone for the most part. I can still feel it watching me every now and then. I know it's like trapped in a corner somewhere, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's staying where it's at.
Okay. Goes not to mess with Anna.
Shame on you.
Do you offer things like cleansings for people, or do you do your general like afterwards? What is your process afterwards? You go and do the case. Do you help them with like cleansings or any kind of other things, services you might do?
Yes, I do cleansings. I'll smudge the house for them. If I can pick up on something there, I try to either get it towards the light or find out why it's still here. If it's a darker entity, then I immediately get out holy water and anything I might need to kind of sprinkle it and make it go away. But I offer any kind of services that someone might need, and I never charge anybody for anything. This is just what I do. I would never charge anybody for help.
We don't charge for help either, because I think if you're going to go help somebody with something that potentially in the end could be life-threatening to these people, why in the hell would you charge them? Why would you make them pay money to save? This is a little dramatic, but why would you make them pay to save their life, basically? Or with something pesky that they're dealing with, or if they want to connect with their family and friends, and why would you charge anybody for that? Anybody who charges, I just don't get. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah, but like calling the police and expecting you to pay $5 to come in the house or something, Yeah,
right. Exactly. So, Anna, let's kind of dive into a little about Sixth Sense Paranormal. First of all, I want to know, what does your team specialize in? I know you said you have many different things that you specialize in or that you offer, but do you offer cleansings, exorcisms, just investigations, or full on? I said that already. Cleansings, but there are specific things that you guys do, or is it just like your basic investigation?
I will do anything. If it's just a basic investigation, if it's a cleansing, if it's a darker entity, I offer my services for all of the above.
Sure.
And if they need something like a Reiki master, something that I cannot do, I will get a hold of someone that will get in touch with that person. So I go the extra mile to make sure that I don't say customers, my clients feel better.
So if you can't help them, you find them someone who will. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Basically what we do. If they're, in Florida and we don't have the time and the money to save up to go to Florida, then we're going to find somebody in Florida.
I specialize in demonology.
Okay. Fair enough.
What's your favorite piece of equipment to use during an investigation? What do you like to get the most evidence from?
That would have to be my recorder and my SLS.
Is there a reason why behind those?
Because I get most of my Class A EVPs from recordings. I'm not sure why, but I always seem to get better recordings with just a recorder than I would with a recorder and an Ovilus or something like that. With the Ovilus, sometimes it comes through several times, and I've moved on from the question. It's come through, several times the same thing. But if I have a recorder sitting next to it, it picks up a lot of things that my Ovilus won't.
Oh.
Hey, Casey. Give me a few minutes. We gotta step away.
Okay, sounds good. Do you have any questions for us?
What's your favorite location?
I'd have to say air.
And Josh?
I'm still kind of new to the whole ghost investigation kind of a thing, but I do have a couple of bucket list things on my top list. So there's a place here in Minnesota that I've always wanted to do, the Palmer House. And I've always wanted to go to the sanatoriums and take a lot of people to the sanatorium. They release, you know. But there was this one spot, like somewhere like in Salem, that I don't remember the name of the house, but somewhere in Salem, I like to remember the name of the house, but somewhere in Salem, I like to remember where like the RIP trial would help.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What if you had to pick one thing out of all of your equipment, what would you use the most?
I use myself because I haven't used it a lot. I really found out I really like when you can kind of see something physical, when they're like especially when they're blowing balls or something like that, and you can't explain that, something like that. So something that needs motion to move or something like that. That always is fun to something that goes out.
Gotcha. And do you guys use trigger objects? Because I use them a lot.
Yeah, I think we figure out. I'm fairly new to the team, so Casey can answer that question.
Casey, what about you?
I like the REM pods.
The REM pods?
I actually use my REM pod in my house.
I actually don't have REM pods. That's the one thing I don't have, and my SLS broke. So those are the two.
That's always kind of one of the things that we never really talk about here. When equipment breaks or something goes down and you're so used to having it on an event, does it affect your investigation more when you don't have it?
Yeah.
Right.
Have you guys ever had all of your equipment just fail on you before at a location? Because mine has.
Oh, I don't have that.
Casey?
When I had my handheld, always like I'd have always 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what are some of the places in Georgia, like if you wanted to come to Georgia and visit Georgia, what are some of the most popular places in Georgia that would be good for anyone to kind of investigate and get to know a little bit more about?
Savannah.
What was that?
You go to Savannah, Georgia, you will have plenty of stories to tell.
Is there like?
And I have been, like, and I have gotten.
Is there more paranormal like activity, or is it more of a like just embodied voices or things
you get? When I went to the 1790 Inn, and it's got a girl named Anna. And I stayed in her room. She is very famous for this thing. Her boyfriend was a sailor, and he left and never came back. So she ended up committing suicide out of the window, and they've got a full-size replica of her at the window. So she's always looking outside. And I've been there. I slept there. People bring Anna lots of things to keep her appeased, and I got so much activity. The REM pod that was in her doll went off. We got disembodied voices. I was woken up by sheets being pulled off of me. Like, you go to Savannah and you're just gonna have so many stories. It's ridiculous.
I'll have to keep that in mind if I ever visit Georgia again. My father actually lives in Florida. He lives in Clearwater, Florida. So maybe if I ever get down to visit, I'll check those hotspots out in Georgia. Besides the paranormal, is there any other things about your state that you kind of are looking forward to doing within your own state?
There's so many things here going on. We actually have a sorority house that I'm getting access to. An old sorority girl used to live there, of course, but she also committed suicide off the balcony, and they left her room untouched. So they blocked off the balcony, but it is a sorority house. It's still active to this day. And I'm getting granted access to go into this place and ask and talk to this woman that committed suicide. And there's buildings here that would just blow your mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I know how that can be. Like, we have a couple of houses out here in Minnesota. We have like our Fort Snelling, where battles were fought right around Fort Snelling, for other things. And then we have the former house that's pretty widely known here in Minnesota. And then, you know, you got really quiet parts that nobody knows a whole lot about that. Only people who go out and investigate would know about. Marcus would know more about that. But I guess. What are your favorite, like, if you had a wish list? I know we talked about kind of like your dream bucket list, but if there was one place where you could go, well, where would it be for you?
The Dolls Island in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. That would
Definitely.
That would be a good one for me too.
That would be great. I would freak out, but I would be so happy once I saw things happening.
Right.
However, I would not bring Harold the doll.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of fun that we're talking about some things that we both know a little bit about. I know exactly what you're talking about. So.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of an experience.
Awesome.
To see that one. I remember that one. So.
I would also love to go to the Washoe Club.
Yeah. Bobby Mackey's
Bobby Mackey's, yes. Definitely Bobby Mackey's. Before I die, I'm going to Bobby Mackey's. Oh, hells to the yeah.
Here's Marcus back here. I'm going to hand it back
to
Sorry, guys. Duty called.
TMI.
Sorry. What I missed?
Oh, we were talking about some of their favorite equipment, what kind of things they can look forward to in Georgia, what great places they have there, and told us about some of the things that she has kind of coming up for plans, like things she wants to do in Georgia, what her most favorite spot was and stuff like that to go for hunting. We both kind of exchanged that kind of stuff. That's about it so far.
Wow, I mean, basically the questions that I asked. So good job.
That's why I was trying to kind of keep it going. Casey was too, so we were both tag teaming it.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I have to grab my phone so I can see what else I have written down, because I have some pre-planned questions for you.
He's got bad memory, so that's why.
Shush. You shush.
Hey, I need a notepad and a cup piece of paper once in a while too, so don't get too happy there.
You're right. Oh, there he goes again.
There he goes again.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if he just hit a button by mistake or something. Or did his phone go wonky? I don't know. Let me use my medium psychic powers. Well, everything else went on. I was going to ask about if you ever collabed with another team. Like, have you ever collabed with another team? Have you on investigations? Do you like to do that kind of thing?
I haven't yet, but I have two. I have two other groups that want to collab.
Cool.
Two other teams have asked me if we want to collaborate and team up.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out a little bit.
Okay. I was saying I have a couple of teams that have already reached out to me to see if we could team up, and Casey is one of those.
All right, yeah.
And we're actually teaming up in different parts all over the state, so we're all going to be like a circle connect.
Awesome.
I'm excited. It's going to take more manpower, but I've got people up for the job.
Mhm.
There you go. Always good to have friends in the paranormal field.
I'm sorry, babe. You were cutting out.
I said it's always good to have friends in the paranormal field. That's all I said.
Exactly. It is. It's always great. They make things so much better.
I saw
Every
a question a while back that someone was posting as a Facebook user. How does Anna's relationship with her dead fiance affect her ghost hunting? And I was wondering if you want to talk about that. I don't know if someone did that as a joke or what, but
he committed suicide in front of me, and that's actually a dark story. Not sure how much you guys want to hear about it, but we decided together that we were going to do this, and we came up with the name together, and this was one of his last wishes, was to carry out the Sixth Sense Paranormal name.
okay, well, we'll move on to that subject a little bit there, because that's something that sounds like it's very personal to share and stuff like that. So we'll let that one just kind of go to the ether for people to find out if they ever want to come find out more about you. They can always do that on their own there. So that's always important to always take into account our guests' feelings. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah, that it's a dark story, and that kind of hits home.
Yeah, I understand. Everyone has that story. When I was a young boy, I discovered my gifts after I realized I was actually being abused by a babysitter, because I had that don't touch, don't talk class in school. And when I went to tell my teachers about what was going on, after that, I kind of had an experience, like a life-death experience kind of a deal. And then after that, I could hear ghosts, and I could see little movies playing in my head that would basically kind of tell me what was going on. So, and it's always kind of that real experience that really touches you in a personal way. And I don't mind talking about it, but it's kind of like, at first I wasn't so sure about sharing that with people, but then I realized that the more I shared it and embraced that power and embraced what happened to me, the better it would be for not only me and my health, but to help move on anything else that might have kind of come my way. Because there have been a couple of spirits I've helped move on because I introduced them to where the light was, So I mean, that's always a great satisfaction when you can either move a spirit on, you can make them at least live in that home with the people that are living in there with them, and come to some kind of agreement that I have my space, you have your space, kind of a deal. I know that's one of the major things we all want to see happen when we're doing any kind of an investigation, and also to get that evidence. So has there ever been a really cool piece of evidence that you've caught on tape or video that you could tell us about a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. I went to South Carolina, and this was last year. I went to South Carolina, and I just kind of let my ability speak to me. I knew nothing about the location. There was a haunted church with a house connected to it, and then the cemetery was right there. So I actually got a lot of things, but the most important thing that stuck out to me was I let my abilities just kind of lead me to this unmarked grave, had no headstone on it, and I started crying, and I couldn't tell why I was crying, because it felt like I wasn't in me anymore. I was somebody else. And those emotions took over, and it ended up being a girl that was 18 years old. She was pregnant, and her parents disowned her for it. And she told me her name, and once she told me her name, I said it out loud, and when I did, I could feel her standing behind me. I turned around, took the picture, and I caught her on camera.
Wow.
That was a major one for me.
Yeah, my very first story was when I was walking to Willow Tree, when I was a little boy, I would hear spirits either of the tree, or I would hear like spirits that were by a nearby place where we lived. There was a little bit of history there as far as battle stuff kind of going on there. So I would pick up stuff like even the closest graveyard, I would pick up things like that when I was a little boy. And it was always amazing to me when I would hear those voices or something that I saw in my head come true. And it was like always scary and amazing at the same time, because it was like, now I finally had some proof. I think my first investigation with Minnesota Spirit Hunters kind of proved that to me when we were at the graveyard, and like everything was going off. I was so tickled pink. It was like I had so much evidence there to prove something was there. It wasn't even funny. So it was kind of a really, really cool experience for me. It was my first real validating moment, that let me know, hey, what I'm doing here isn't, all in my head kind of deal. Did you ever have that kind of a moment in your life or something like that with your medium skills and stuff like that?
I did a couple times. I felt that way a few times, actually.
I have to.
Okay.
You did, Casey?
Yes, I did. It was actually my recent home investigation, actually. I felt some in the room with me, and I caught it on my GoPro camera. So that was kind of cool.
This was your recent one?
Yep. I could send it to you when we're done. So I caught the video clip of it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the history of Sixth Sense Paranormal. What are some interesting things that you have? First of all, what are a couple of your investigations that you've done that you absolutely love and you want to do them again?
Especially ones that I love are, I'm kind of on the dark side. I mean, I'm great with the light stuff and, Casper type spirits, but
Sure.
studying demonology and being more on that side, I like to be on that side just because I know I can do more help by knowing more about this stuff for people, and getting rid of it for my clients. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm more towards the dark, but I always embrace the light.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then sorry, was reading a comment there, but so Joshua, you asked her about what makes Georgia a good place to take a tour, right?
I think so. I kind of missed the question again because it was kind of echoey.
Oh, sure. I said you ask her what makes Georgia a good place to take a tour, paranormal tour.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let's do that then. Anna, if I decided I wanted to come to Georgia and I strictly wanted to...
Sorry. I did ask that one. Sorry, I thought it was a different question. So.
Oh, you did ask that one?
Yeah, if we wanted to come to Georgia, what quarter of the places in Georgia we want to visit and stuff like that. We talked about that already. So sorry, I forgot.
I wasn't here, so I'd love to hear it.
I tried to cover most of the questions you would normally ask.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Yeah. But just the way I have it, Anna, is if I wanted to come to Georgia and I strictly wanted to focus on paranormal, what makes Georgia a good place for someone to take a paranormal tour? Let's say they had a whole week.
For someone to take a paranormal tour. Let's say they had a whole week and they wanted to take a tour of the state. What?
Savannah makes the state. Savannah, Georgia is one of the most haunted places in the United States. And I have been, so I can tell you which hotel I stayed at, where I found evidence, and the connecting cemeteries that went with it. There was also an underground, it was called the Keep, which was an underground burial site that we also walked through. So I would really say Savannah if you're going to come, it's only 4 hours from Athens, and it is not a bad trip to go down there.
Okay.
Cool.
There's also some places here in Athens. Like I was telling Josh, there's a sorority house that I'm going to be given access to. And this girl committed suicide, and they left her room like it always was, but they're letting me come in, and it is an active sorority house. Like there's people living in this house, but they just don't mess with her room. So they are going to give me permission to come in and do my thing.
That is very cool.
And the Graduate Hotel is a very haunted hotel here in Athens. I've been there. Me and my boyfriend went there, and all my equipment failed. So I mean, he had breathing problems when we were going to sleep. Something was just laying on his chest, and he was like, "Just make it stop, make it stop, make it stop." And I was like, "Okay, just calm down," because this was his very first experience. I was just like, "Calm down, just stay calm, tell him to go away." And he's like, "It's not working. It's not working." And I just started laughing. But if you want to stay at a hotel here, I would definitely suggest the Graduate in Athens.
Okay.
You're going to get some activity.
You bet on that.
So what can we look forward to in the future of MNSpirit Paranormal? Besides that, is there any other things coming up that you have planned later on this year that you want to tell us about? What you got planned for you or your team, or
my team and I were trying to go to Paracon, and some of us are looking to go. So there's going to be a couple of us meeting up from different states, possibly there together. So it's not going to be just me. We also have some investigations coming up. There's one in Tennessee. We have the Brushy Mountains. And there's one in North Carolina, is a jail. So we're going to be doing that as well.
You give us a call when we're there.
Right.
Not even kidding. It'd be a lot of fun. And I love investigating with new people too, especially people who know what they're doing, because it's more fun that way. Because you got two great minds thinking alike, and you got, two different perspectives of people investigating, and it just make a great investigation. So if you ever need help on a case and you're maybe in the northern part of the country, let us know. We're there. So let's talk a little bit about investigations for Sixth Sense Paranormal. So before Minnesota Spirit Hunters even does a investigation, we did this today. We have a new case starting up that's going to expand over it's going to expand over the next 3 months or so until November. The investigation is going to be in November. So what we do before an investigation is we do a couple meetings with the owner, and we do a walkthrough, and we figure out what equipment's going to be used. We figure out where we're going to set our nerve center, where all your equipment is, and all of that. So that is our pre-investigation process. Now, I want to know, do you have a pre-investigation process before you have to do your investigation?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit, didn't we, Anna?
Yes, I do actually. Other than I do a lot of research on the property, because ley lines are big for me sometimes because they pop up in my investigations. So I do research on the property. I try not to talk a whole lot to the owners until I've done my research and I can get a feel of the place. Then I ask. But I do have what you call the nerve center, where all my equipment is, where I've got people, my 2 other teammates with walkie-talkies, and sometimes they're doing B-roll shots, even things have happened. So, and it's amazing to go in there and even know that you don't have to worry about your team because they all know what they're doing.
Hey, there's Liz.
Hi, Liz. Okay. Perfect. So, And then for us, after we have done, we have 3 parts to our investigation. We have the case notes meeting, which what we done today was the case note meeting, where we go in, we figure out, they tell us what's going on, what they would like us to do and everything. Then we have our walkthrough, where we bring more team members, Joshua and Casey. I got you guys coming up next. I'll let you guys know. We'll do a walkthrough where we go in, we bring more team members, mediums and all that. We let them see what they can get, so we can compare it to the case notes. After that, we have a full scale overnight investigation, sometimes daytime or whatever. And then after the investigation comes the post-investigation process, where we have to finalize everything. We have to contact them about a month later, see how things are going. Do we need to go out again and cleanse? Do we need to do this or that or whatever? So that's our process. Do you have a after investigation or post investigation process?
I absolutely do. Me and my teammates, whoever might be with me who is not exhausted, we go through all of our shots, all of our camera roll, everything like that, and we try to match if we see something, and what the owners tell us. Sometimes we have seen that exact thing on camera, so we've been able to tell that the owners, hey, look, we did see this, you are correct. So after that, we do have our notes, we compare with each other, and we do what we call the after evidence, which is looking for anything that they had brought up afterwards, and we write it down, of course, time it where it is, and let the owners see exactly what we mean.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then, that time is also for going back on your voice recorders, listening to your EVP sessions, seeing if you can match everything up. And don't forget, everybody out there who does investigations, debunk. That's going to be number 1 in an investigation. Make sure you debunk, because if you don't, someone else will. They're going to debunk for you if you don't. So, just letting you know.
Yep, absolutely. You've got to debunk.
Okay, so now we're going to go to a short intermission. It's about 45 seconds long, a little promo video of the show. And when we come back, I'm going to open up the panel for everybody to ask Anna questions and even ask our team questions. And then I'll let Casey and Joshua get a few more questions in, as well as Anna ask questions to us. Then we're going to wrap it up shortly after a piece of advice that Anna has for a newcomer in the field. That's what's coming up next. Don't miss it, and we'll see you right back here. we are back with Anna, founder of Sixth Sense Paranormal, and we've just been talking a little bit about the paranormal in the state of Georgia, and a little bit about Sixth Sense Paranormal. Now, if anybody watching has any questions for Anna or for the team, feel free to let us know. Anna, if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask. And Joshua and Casey, if you got any questions for her, go right ahead.
I guess my last question for her is, unless Casey has something real quick here, was I'd like to know a little bit more about your demonology, like how you got into that, and like what kind of study you did to get yourself prepared for that kind of investigation after you found your gifts and stuff like that.
Studying demonology, I don't know why, but it just piques my interest. And just because most of the investigations that I was dealing with at the time were more on the demonic side, and I didn't know that much about it, so I couldn't really help, and I felt bad, but I educated. I'm still reading about it, especially of cleansing and exorcisms. I have the Rite of Exorcism book. I know that like the back of my hand now. And it just basically boils down to that. I love getting to know what possible demons they could be, because if someone tells me just a few things about them, I know exactly which one is sticking around or trying to stick around to mess with this family or person.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually my last question. I remember.
Okay, so while we wait on anybody who has questions or anything or whatever like that, so I know Joshua asked you about what's coming up next, any future investigations, stuff like that. So now we're going to ask you, where can Sixth Sense Paranormal be found? Social media, website, anything.
We can be found on social media. I am still looking to get a YouTube thing. I've got so many things coming up. It's just been hard to do, but it is on Facebook. If you go to my page, you can go straight to Sixth Sense Paranormal. And I've actually gotten a bunch of different paranormal families and us to link together. So we're all part of the same thing, and we've all been able to share our evidence, and that's how I've gotten actually other members, but in different states. So that's kind of turned out to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to follow Sixth Sense Paranormal, feel free to go in the description right now and check out the links, because there are links for Anna's stuff and there's links for our stuff too. So if you guys haven't noticed, we've been revamping all of our social medias, and we have a lot of stuff to check out now. So we have a ton of different things for you to check out. But most importantly, I want you guys to go down below and check out Sixth Sense Paranormal. Go over, show her some love, and show her what we're all about as a family in the paranormal field. So that's what it's all about. But Anna, I've reached into my questions. Feel free to ask us any questions you have.
I wanted to know what your top favorite one that you've never been to would be. Mine was the Doll Island in Mexico.
That'd be fun. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want to visit Alcatraz. I think it would be the best one. It's expensive as hell to investigate. We're talking thousands of dollars for about 4 hours of investigating. So I'm going to keep dreaming on that one. But a more realistic one, I would definitely like to do Waverly Hills Sanitarium and Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. There are plans for Minnesota Spirit Hunters to get to Brushy Mountain. But Waverly Hills, I would absolutely love to go to. That's my neck of the woods. I was born in Minnesota, but I grew up down south, and I'm familiar with all them places. And now as a paranormal investigator, it's my dream to get back down there and check out some of them spots that I had no idea what the hell ghost hunting mean when I lived down there, because I was just a kid. So, Next.
Still are, kid. But anyways.
Oh, shut up.
Shut up.
I would love to go to the Brushy Mountains with y'all.
That would be cool. Casey, we're going to talk
Don't
about
tempt me
that.
with a good time.
We're going to talk about that comic, big boy. What about you guys? I mean, what about you, Casey and Joshua? I mean, what is the dream investigation? Maybe I'll sneak it into the future.
Dream investigation. Maybe I'll sneak it into the future.
Guys, you froze up for a minute.
Octagon, please. I hear something about. I would really like to go. I think it's called Octagon Hall.
Yes.
That's always been at the top of my bucket list, you know.
I think Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're talking. I heard you guys mention Bobby Mackey's in the show.
Yeah, that too.
I'd love to go to Bobby Mackey's. That would be a lot of fun.
For me, I would have to say a battleship of some kind.
A battlefield? Gettysburg?
I'm talking battleship.
Oh, there's one in North Carolina that would be super fun to go to.
Yeah, I think there's USS Hornet, Lexington. I think there's one more. I can't remember.
There's the SS Irvin in Duluth, Minnesota here. That would be a lot of fun to go to.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it'd be that's one of my dream places for investigation. Any of those battleships.
Right.
Or Brett. That would be cool to go on one of those ships.
Overseas that you'd like to go to?
I would love to go to a couple. I've never been on a ship for an investigation. That's something I would love to do. I actually would like to go to the Titanic one that they went to.
Yeah. Queen Mary too.
I would love to go to that too.
Oh yeah, the Queen Mary.
Okay, so I don't know. I can't say that I'd like to investigate this place, but since you mentioned overseas, this ain't necessarily overseas. It's just in another country. I can't say I'd like to investigate it because I don't know if it's haunted. But imagine this: imagine a photo shoot at the Eiffel Tower.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. That would be super cool. We gotta make a trip to Paris. That'd be so cool. Imagine all the hauntings over there.
Paris, Scotland.
Oh, you know it.
Oui.
Oui, monsieur.
Sipping with their pinky.
Yep.
Oui.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that is all I have for you. Anna, as always, it's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And what's better than bringing you on to talk about the state of Georgia and your team? It's always a pleasure having you on here. And like I always say, it's an open door. If you want to come back, all you gotta do is
Absolutely. I'd love to come back.
Perfect. Well, we'll make it happen. We appreciate you being on here tonight. If anybody has any questions for Anna or anything about Sixth Sense Paranormal, feel free to message us, excuse me, on any of our social media. We'll make sure those questions get over to Anna, or go down below and check out her links and just send her a message directly on any of our social medias or anything like that. But Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, and definitely looking forward to having you again.
Thank you so much, you guys. I've so enjoyed this, and I can't wait to come back.
We'll try to make it soon.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, Anna, you have a absolutely amazing night. Joshua and Casey, you do the same. I'm not finished with you two, though. Especially
you guys do the same. I'm going to go watch my Bulldogs kick some serious butt.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Are we good now?
We're
good. All right, guys. Well, if you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Oh, sorry. Were you talking, Casey?
No, I was just saying she's fun to talk to.
Absolutely. and she's been on here quite a few times. So always a pleasure. But if anybody enjoyed the show tonight, please feel free to check out the links below. I don't have COVID, I promise.
We're not worried. We won't catch it.
No, I'm good. Well, I could cough on the screen, but hopefully, you guys won't get anything. But anyway, so if anybody enjoyed the show, please feel free to check out her links and all that. As I said during the show, we do have brand new social medias coming out, and we have another one being released tonight. You can check out Instagram, Pinterest, or anything like that. And to do so, go down below. All the links are right there. We have a new TikTok, Instagram, all that. Pretty soon, just to let you guys know, we have merchandise coming up soon. If you want a hat like this or a t-shirt like this,
I already have mine ordered.
so this is our podcast. This is Minnesota SpiritCast, Minnesota Spirit Hunters. This is no longer a logo. This is a defective logo. If anybody ended up wanting a shirt that looked like this, I am willing to, of course, wash and auction my shirt off, which would be super cool. Just for a little fun project. But if anybody wants any current logos on their merchandise, which I'm not releasing old logo stuff anymore, anything that I have with the old logo on it will either be auctioned off, sold, or gave away. So keep an eye out because you could have a chance to get some merchandise, even for free. So we'll see. But we got merchandise coming up, I'd say within the next week and a half to 2 weeks. So if anybody wants that, I'll post up a link on all of our social medias, and hopefully you guys are able to get some. So don't miss us next week, because on Saturday at 6 p.m. we're heading to the good old Orange County, California. We're heading to California, and we have a returning guest on that show as well, and I think it's going to be super fun. So this whole month of September, we're going to be in the western side of the United States. Almost the whole month we'll be in the western side of the United States. So we're going western on you guys this month. Next month we're hitting full Halloween mode. We're going to have a lot of fun, make our shows a little more spooky, and we're going to have one-of-a-kind questions for our guests next month. But it is paranormal season because it was paranormal season in the middle of August to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's Halloween season. Anytime August hits, it's paranormal season. So,
right?
What's up?
I said whenever the Burr months hit, that's when the paranormal season comes out.
Basically, yep, exactly. Yeah. So, but if you guys enjoy the show, please go check out the links. And if you missed the show, go watch the replay that will be posted on social media as well, and is now available on YouTube, Facebook, and Minnesota SpiritCast. So until next week, when we see you guys in California, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us, and as always, happy hunting.